Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from Pocketnow.com, and I've got something really awesome to show you if you're using a Touch Diamond or a Touch Pro, or any of the variants that are out there, and there are a lot. It's a new user interface that's kind of like TouchFlow 3D, but I think it's even better. The reason that we're getting all these interface replacements is because companies that are making Windows mobile devices know that the Windows mobile interface, that is, you go into programs and you get this, is kind of drab and outdated. And we all know this, and Microsoft knows this. We're waiting for Windows Mobile 6.5, Windows Mobile 7, which will hopefully improve that. But until then, we have these interfaces. And here's one from Bell. I'm going to show you. I'll post links on Pocketnow.com on how to get it, and I think it's really amazing. So let me show you it. Alright, so there's a lot of different aspects of the Bell user interface. And by the way, Bell is a carrier in Canada who are offering the Touch Diamond and Touch Pro with this interface. Okay, let me show you the first thing here. If you take your finger and swipe downward from the notification area, look what you get. I'm getting a text message. Wow, look at this. So this, let me dismiss this message. This is your notification area expanded. This is great. So you get your exact battery percentage. You get your network status. You can see if you're connected to a Wi-Fi network. If you click on this center area here, we can adjust the volume of the system and the ringer, which is cool. We can go back this way. We can change the alarms. We can turn on Bluetooth right from here. We can turn on flight mode. It's just a really cool way to access all the notifications. And what's even greater is that you can access this from any screens. So if I do it from the settings area, this is what it looks like. You actually get a task manager, which is super cool, in any application. And you also get to see battery life, or you can go right back home to the Bell user interface. Now, the Bell user interface has 3 buttons along the bottom instead of just 2. I'm going to cover those in a second, but what I want to show you now is what is called bubbles. And it's kind of iPhone-esque. If you look at the top, you can see which bubble you're on by which dot is lit up. And bubbles are like mini applications that you run off of your Today screen. It's sort of like Sony Ericsson's panel interface, but a little more light. They're more like widgets. And what you can do is you can add and subtract panels. So if I click on that button up at the top, I see all my panels right now, or bubbles as they call it, and if I click the edit button, I can rearrange these by moving them around on the screen like that, and you get this great animation. Also, what I can do is I can delete certain ones if I don't want them. And if I want to add a bubble, I click the plus button. It shows me the bubbles that are remaining, and there are some that I haven't added yet. So I'll do sports news, it puts it in its place, and then I'm going to click done, and then back, and then I will have all of the extra bubbles. And right now it's flipping through. It's a cool animation it does anytime that you add a bubble. So let me go through the bubbles and kind of give you an idea of what you can do. So this one right here, it's the third one, is headline news, and you can click on world news or do top stories, and you can have it work for your area. If we go over to the right, we get some stocks, and I put in a few stocks there, and it's showing me what they're doing right now. And to the left of that is news. And we're getting kind of a scrolling through of different news stories that are hitting. And if I tap on one of these news stories, I will be taken into the full story. And this actually uses Pocket Express, and that's a program that is free. It's been around for a long time, but Bell has decided to interface pretty much everything with Pocket Express, so it works pretty well. If we go over to the right, we have music news, same thing as the news bubble. Entertainment news, and I think I accidentally opened something there. Baseball, if you're trying to keep track of scores, you can switch between the NCAA or MLB if you set that up. Here's a world clock, so I have the time in Abu Dhabi in Alaska. Over to the right is next calendar appointments. This would be great to have on the screen most of the time, so you can just turn on your device real quick and see what's coming up. Here's a simple slideshow, tasks, and some sports news. And if we go all the way back to the beginning, we have a link to Facebook. Unfortunately, it's not a Facebook application on your Today screen like you would find on the Sony Ericsson Xperia X1, but if you tap on it, it'll take you right to Facebook. If you're already logged in, then it's a quick way to access Facebook. So I'm going to get out of that. Now let me show you the menu down here. The menu is really well done, very beautiful. We have latest applications used listed above here. We can click on search to search our device. We can go to photos to see all the different things we can do with photos. And by the way, it's very touch sensitive. I'm not using the stylus at all, as you're seeing now. If I go into Office Mobile, it shows me all of the Office applications. So really, the Bell UI gives me no reason to go into the standard Windows Mobile interface to leave the Today screen, and I think that's what a good interface should be. And that's really what they're trying to do. If we go into games, we see all the games, and you get the point from there. Very, very flick-friendly, too. Over to the right, if we click Contacts, we get a sort of a weird-looking display of contacts, and I've got several hundred, and flicking through them would take a long time. Although if you go to the side here, you get a scroll bar, and you can choose the letter, which makes it a little easier, but still not very. As you can see, I can't open an on-screen keyboard right now, so I can't get right to, you know, Bob or something. So I'm going to click back. If we click Web, it will take you right to Opera Mobile, which is good. And something that I found interesting is TouchFlow 3D in Landscape doesn't exist. Does it exist? Does Bell UI have a landscape? Watch what happens. No. Strangest thing. I don't know why these interface replacements don't work in Landscape, but they don't. And finally, I want to cover these buttons along the bottom. The one on the left is Contacts. You can add favorite people. And what's really great is that you can have two for Matt, one for text messaging and one for his house. And you can have a little icon in the upper right corner so you know which is which. So it's a really fast way to access that. The next one over here is text messages, and you can actually have multiple messaging accounts in this screen. So you can actually have a consecutive list of, you know, email message, text message, email, depending on when you actually receive the message. So that's really innovative. Here we have a panel for media. I don't really have that set up, but you can, let's see, launch a radio player, streaming radio. Some of these things don't work in the music player because you have to be a Bell subscriber to have them work. And finally, the one to the right is favorite applications. And you remember this from TouchFlow 3D. So we can press plus. We can add, let's add OneNote to the favorite applications. And here it is down there. Beautiful. So that's it for the Bell user interface. It's a beautiful, well done, completely different and innovative interface for Windows Mobile. It's got fantastic transitions, animations, it's got transparency on all of these bubbles. If you notice that, you can see the stars kind of shining through. Really well done. In fact, this is so well done and so interesting and fresh that I am using the Touch Pro as my daily device now. I had been using the Xperia X1 for a long time since it came out, and I'm just so impressed by this user interface that I want to use this device, the Touch Pro, or if you have a Diamond, it works on that too, full time. Again, we'll post links on Pocketnow.com on how to get this. The guys at XD Developers came up with the way to extract the files from the Bell user interface so that everyone can use this on their device. For exclusive content, follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/PocketNowTweets, and that's it for now.